I studied piano most of my life. Started piano when I was 5. And then when I was 8, my parents bought me a violin, and I started violin lessons. And had some wonderful violin teachers. My second violin teacher was Sybil Howard, and she was an amazing performer. I mean, amazing. And she had the personality that brought in the audience to everything, and she would converse with the audience. And my mom was her accompanist, and for a lot of her performances. And so I still have memories of Sybil playing, and she would interact with my mom, just how they would look at each other during the performance, and of course Sybil had a humor that was just precious. And one of the cute stories my mom tells of her performances with Sybil is, again, she would interact with the audience, and if she made a mistake, she would stop and say, "Oh, let's try that one again," or whatever. So she found the humor and she found the humanity in her musical performances. Another time, my mom says they were going to start a piece, and Sybil looked over at my mom and said, "How does it start? How does it begin?" And so immediately, anytime she did that, it put the audience at ease, and they were drawn to her and bonded to her. And so I've always remembered that, because as a child, when I would listen to Sybil and my mom play together, it was always just heartwarming. You just made us feel at ease and wonderful. I have another experience. I was playing for an instrumentalist, and they started, and it was in the wrong key, and I didn't come in. I thought to myself in that millionth of a second with the upbeat, what am I going to do? Because this is not the right key. And so I didn't come in, and I thought I will just sort of waltz my way in and try to transpose a little bit. But the performer looked at me and said, "Are we in the wrong key?" And I just said yes. And of course the audience just busted up and loved it. And then we restarted. And so there you are. There's a mistake. Honestly, an honest to goodness, just a mistake. And but you make the best of it. And when you do that, you add that little bit of sparkle to the performance, and the audience loves you for it. So I tell my students one thing with these types of mistakes is I look at mistakes as honest mistakes, or mistakes of just being human. No matter how well prepared we are, anything can happen, and that's the way it is. But there's also mistakes of carelessness. So as I'm teaching students, we try to work on what's the difference. Am I just being lazy and not practicing something well enough? Or am I prepared, and then, anything can happen. So, and it doesn't happen very much, but again, I work on helping students understand the difference of an honest mistake, being human, and another mistake where we've just been too lazy to get it where it needs to be.